All right. So now we're going to talk about our top 10 point guard rankings in the NBA. Luke created a nice little fancy list for us. Luke, let's hear what you got, man.
Let's go. Y'all ready?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right, let's do it. So first, we got honorable mentions.
Okay.
Considered these guys did not end up making the top
Oh.
10, but strong consideration.
On the chopping
Okay.
block.
So, honorable mentions. We have Drew Holiday. We have Darius Garland. We have Deontay Murray. And we have Marcus Smart, the hometown boy.
I believe those
Okay.
are where they all
All right.
belong.
Jumping right into 10.
Let's
Number
go.
10, Jamal Murray. Why? Last time we saw him, he was playing at an all-NBA level. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He has been playing for 2 years. I think he's going to come back and be almost what he was, if not what he was. He's still young. I still think he's a top 10 point guard.
Okay,
9.
before we go any further, are we holding our opinions until the end
Yes.
here?
Yeah.
Okay.
9, LaMelo Ball. I considered Holiday. I consider Garland over him. I think LaMelo Ball is more talented. I think he's on a worse team. I think he's better than Jamal Murray, but I don't think he's as good as the top 8. LaMelo Ball at 9. Chris Paul, number 8. I think Chris Paul showed his deficiencies. I think he was exposed against the Mavericks. I think he's old, and I think he's shown that he cannot no longer take over a game, be one of the top 5, 6, 7 point guards in the NBA. Number 7, James Harden. James Harden at 7. And I'll argue, because I know someone's going to say Paul over Harden. And I'll argue that when it comes, I would rather have James Harden than Chris Paul. We'll let that argument happen afterwards. Number 6, Kyrie Irving. I wanted to put Kyrie top 5, but I couldn't put him over the 5 guys in front of him strictly because of everything that happened this season and his performance in the playoffs. Number 5, Trae Young. I think Trae Young's a top 5 point guard. I think he leads his team. I think he's a great facilitator. I'd rather have him over Kyrie and Harden and everyone else on those lists. The big thing about, for me was if I swap this player with another player, how does that team perform? I think Trae Young carries his team more than anyone else that I've said already. 4, Dame. I think Dame was injured this season. I think Dame's going to come back and be a bona fide top 5 point guard next season. Number 3, Ja Morant. I thought about putting Ja at 2. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's a top 3 point guard. I'm putting him over Dame. I don't think he's in that upper echelon 1 and 2 guys, the bona fide all-NBA superstars. Number 2, Steph Curry. I mean, we all know Steph Curry's an absolute monster, one of the best players to ever play the game, best shooter ever. I think he's number 2. And number 1, the Don, Luka Doncic.
All right.
Nothing necessary.
I
to
like
say
that.
there.
I would actually do the top 6, but I would swap Ja and Steph.
Do you Ja too?
I would have Ja at 2. Besides that, top 6 I'd have the exact same.
Okay.
But what I would do a little different. This is gonna shock y'all. This is gonna burst y'all's bubble a little bit.
Give me.
This is
Hit
it.
me.
I would have Deontay Murray at number 7, and I'll explain
7?
why.
Oh.
I'll explain why. Okay, Deontay 21, 8, and 9 last year. He can score, he can assist, he can rebound, and he's also arguably the best defensive point guard in the NBA. I mean, he is the fucking engine on that Spurs team. Again, I know it's up for debate, but I love
Spurs team didn't go anywhere though.
playing.
They went
Playing.
farther than they should have. They went further than they should
did,
have.
they
They
did.
should not have made the
There's
plan.
some shitty
I'm-
teams in the
And
West.
again, I can
True.
understand why he's at 10, 11, 12 or whatever, but I have him at 7.
That's bold.
And then at 8, I'd have Shea. Shea Gilgeous.
I have Shea at shooting guard.
Shooting guard.
I have Shea at shooting guard. That's why.
Okay, I put him. At
He
point
would have
guard,
definitely at least been. An
but
honorable
I
mention.
love Shea. You know, he was hurt a lot of the year, but he did 25, 5 and 6 this year when he played. He shot 30% from 3, but last year he shot 42% from 3. So he's proven he could hit the 3 ball. I think he's a guy that could, be a Trae Young type of player. And then after that, I had Drew Holiday and LaMelo. So kind of a little same there. I love Drew Holiday. He shot 41% from 3 this year. Right there with Deontay, plays lockdown fucking defense. And then LaMelo Ball. I think LaMelo Ball is going to make a jump next season, probably to, that
So we got
7 or
LaMelo
8 range. Yeah,
9,
9-10, same thing. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Chris
So what do you
Paul
think
there.
about the list?
Okay.
Hit me.
I would
Come on.
I would just the only thing maybe you swap Dame and Ja, maybe
You
like
think Dame over Ja?
possibly. Maybe right now, maybe.
No.
I mean, I don't know if I'm doing it, but whatever. I'm not gonna die on that hill, but maybe. But I would put Chris Paul over Harden and Kyrie.
Okay.
I don't.
Kyrie's on the Suns and he's healthy. What happens?
It's not even if he's healthy. He wants to play or not.
Well, he played
But
in
if
the
he's
playoffs.
but if he's playing,
he played in the playoffs.
I think if
I know.
Kyrie's healthy and he's playing, the Suns
beat
the Mavs.
us.
Probably, but I just don't like Kyrie's durability, man. He doesn't play. Like
I
you
understand.
literally have to worry about him playing. Like even that's not even if he's hurt or not. Just if he wants to play, that's what he's in
Okay,
there.
well,
And then,
since you say that, are we counting Ben Simmons as a point guard, right?
I don't think so. Because on
No.
the Nets, he won't be.
If Ben Simmons did play, though, would he be in the top 10?
no.
No.
I'm
I'm just
Maybe.
curious on that.
He'd
I'm
be within
sure
that
I would
8
have
to 12
I would
range.
have to see just like what he looks like, what he
Yeah.
actually does out there. But and then also just
All right, who wants,
Harden.
Who wants
Harden.
to come at me about
Harden?
Harden?
I'm
ready for this
just
one. Who wants
curious.
to
I'm-
come
I'm
at me
ready
about
for
Harden?
I just want
Let's
James
go.
James Harden cannot
Uh-huh.
get around anyone anymore.
Okay.
He does absolutely zero value on defense. The best thing he's
Okay.
there for now is a few step back. He's great. He's a great facilitator still. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong. He's going to average you 10 assists.
Mhm.
But his scoring, he's down to 20 points per game. He provides no defense.
20?
Yeah, 20, 21, 22.
Cool.
That's
Okay.
what he's averaging now.
I know.
Literally zero defense.
Okay.
He's a great facilitator. He's going to drop you 20 to 21. I think he's probably still in the top 10, but I don't think I'd have him at 7 or 8. I think
And-
he's like an honorable mention kind of guy at this
And
point.
also, what does he look like without Embiid out there with him? That's my
He
other
was
question.
on the Nets and he was balling. I mean,
He
he
had
wasn't balling,
KD, he had
was still
KD with
good.
him. Like I'm just saying, if he doesn't, if he
Well,
doesn't
Chris
have a
Paul has
starting,
Booker and AD.
I'm just saying if like if we're
I mean,
isolating these players,
we did see him in the first 2 games without fucking Embiid, and they got
sucked.
fucking
I'm
wiped.
also looking at these guys like not on the teams they're on per se, and more so like if you isolate them, what do they look like with the team? It's like I want to hear your reasoning for Harden.
This
at
is my
point.
thing about Harden. This season, as atrocious as everyone says it was, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, what decent.
He
stats.
averaged 22, 10, and 8. He still led the Sixers to what? The 4 seed? The 3 seed? The 4 seed?
in a good
The
conference,
4 seed
great
in a good conference. He still averages 22 points a game. Everyone,
I wouldn't say he let him.
well, I mean, him and Embiid led him. Like they were the 2 guys, and he still he kept the Nets afloat throughout the season. He came to the Sixers. I'm not arguing James Harden's still a superstar, but over the other guys on this list, everyone shit on Harden for his second half play, right? In the Heat series,
It was bad.
It was bad. What was Chris Paul after game 2 against the Mavs?
But
For 5 straight games.
I don't
But
like
that
Chris-
also-
Chris-
but
I
that
don't think Chris
also-
Paul's there
Chris
anymore.
Paul he wasn't even a starting point guard. He was
Well,
a backup
that's
point guard.
also-
for
Well,
And
5
you can see
straight
on
games.
defense now he gets fucking
Yeah, that's
widely
the thing.
exposed.
I don't think you can argue that Chris Paul's a better defender than Harden. I don't think you can say he's a better creator than Harden, and I don't think you can say he's more clutch than Harden.
Well, that's also if you buy into if Chris Paul is hurt or not. You
I don't
if,
give
if
a
you
flying
if you,
fidoodle
if you,
Yeah,
about
we
that.
if
They
saw.
say
I think
that
we saw
every
the
single-
eye test doesn't
Yes,
lie.
we-
saw
we
they
say
say
every
that
year.
every year. This is my thing. Everyone
I think-
crapped
I
on
think-
Harden for his second half. Game 7 against the Mavericks, Chris Paul had 1 point
yes.
halfway through the third quarter.
Yes.
The only person that wanted to shit on him was Pat Bev, which he probably went a little overboard. But the thing is,
And
like
arguably the biggest game of his career.
in the biggest game,
Yeah.
yeah, one of the biggest games of his career.
Yeah, and he shit the
And he shit the bed. Everyone shits on Harden all the time for the same things, but it doesn't reciprocate to Chris Paul. Harden, like he went 0 of 2 in game 6 or whatever.
Well,
He's playing a better team with a worse team around him, most
well,
likely.
I think people also too don't shit on Harden like that because I think Chris Paul's on a higher pedestal than James Harden.
I think they kind of. I think everyone kind of expected.
you think Chris Paul, like people think of him higher?
Yeah.
Well, I thought they also thought the Suns have higher.
I think people think James Harden's higher.
Well,
Maybe unless the last 6 months. Maybe last 6 months you say
It's
Chris
also
Paul?
recency bias is such a big factor too because James Harden
Right.
just fell off a fucking cliff and Chris Paul this year
Chris
was
Paul
great.
just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, he was great and besides those last fucking 4 or 5 games whatever in the Mavs
Yeah.
series.
But those 5 games,
So-
he played like a backup. Campaign could have been the starting point guard for the Suns, and not much would have changed.
And it doesn't really make any sense to me either how, that game 2, he goes fucking just mega beast mode.
Oh,
just
it's destroyed
fucking
us.
destroy, yeah. And then all of a sudden he's just a dud.
But Harden had that game in the Heat series. He dropped 31, like 9 and
Yeah,
he had that
whatever.
big
Harden
game.
Harden still has a strap.
That's why I'm
but
saying
I think he's a
still
shell
think
of what he
Harden-
was. But Harden, when what he was, is
Right.
you might
But
put
what
him
he-
even ahead of Luca right here.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
3 year ago Harden is competing with Luka and Steph,
And it's tough
Like,
because he declined so
Yeah.
fucking quick.
I think James Harden gets a little too much because it's a whole boatload of his career that everyone's just basically like, oh, he choked.
Yeah.
But like, I still don't think you can say he's not a top 10 point guard. He's still probably one of the best passers in the NBA.
At the very
I
minimum,
think he's
he's
top
still a
10.
good passer.
I didn't rank
Yes.
him in the top 10 because had him listed as a shooting guard, so I didn't even like consider it. But yeah, he is a point guard, and
He's
But
still
then
he's
again,
still
I
a
don't
top
know.
10, but
Would you rather have him or LaMelo right now if you're the Sixers? Not like for the future, but like in these last playoffs, would you rather had LaMelo paired with Embiid, or would you rather had Harden out there with Embiid?
fuck, I'll take LaMelo honestly.
And you had
Because
LaMelo-
I know
and you had
at the
LaMelo
very
at
minimum,
9,
at least
right?
I also don't think James Harden gives a fuck.
I think he gives a fuck.
I don't if he gave a fuck, then why is he like trying to leave everywhere he's at? If he was playing on what 3 teams in like how many months? Like over a year and a half.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Like, everyone shits on him for that. He was with Houston for how long? 9 years? What was left for him in Houston?
no.
When he
yeah,
asked for the
we
trade,
gotta-
what was left for him? John Wall and Boogie Cousins?
No,
Christian
he
Wood?
had,
What
yeah,
was
he
left
had,
for
he
him
had,
there?
yeah, there at Houston.
Now,
yes.
what was left for him in the Nets?
I mean, he could have
when
played along
he-
KD.
Well, he was playing the whole season. KD was hurt. And Kyrie just wasn't playing.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. I
And
get it.
KD
He
and
probably
Kyrie are
shouldn't have
boys,
quit.
so James
Exactly.
was the odd man
He's
out.
the odd man out. Like, I get, like, he still quit, but, like, it's not like he was in great situations. Like, everyone's like, oh, he left KD. It's like, yeah, look what happened to the Nets. They got swept round 1.
No, but
like,
I'm
it's not like they were making a big playoff run.
no, but I also I'm someone who's just is if you're in the net situation, which is not the worst situation he could have been in, like
No.
you make the best.
Did
of
he
it.
go to a better situation, though?
Well, yeah, play next to Embiid, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So why wouldn't you want to do that?
Of course,
get,
of course,
the
I'd want
quitting.
to, but like I don't know. It's kind of like I guess a little old school of me, just to be like, hey, man, like you wanted
Stick it out.
wanted to come here,
Right. Well,
stick
he
out
wanted
this
to go to Philly, too.
stick out this year. Well, of course, I mean the Sixers
And,
GM,
and I think with it too, like Harden just can't in his mind mentally say, I might be the third option on this team. And that's why he was like, I got to get out of the
I think
Nets.
that's what I think he actually did that in the Sixers series. I think that's why he didn't take as many shots. Once Embiid came back, I think he said,
Well,
I'm
no,
gonna
I know.
step back
I'm
and
saying
not shoot
I
as
think
much."
I think Harden's cool being the Robin, but I mean on the Nets, it's KD,
Oh, on the
and
Nets.
then they
Okay, yeah,
I think
yeah.
they view Kyrie as the Robin, so that left
Yeah.
James as what the
I would too.
fucking
I mean, I have
the
Kyrie
sidekick,
over. I
sidekick,
have Kyrie
like-
over.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, if Kyrie plays,
Oh, he could
He-
he,
yes, if
I,
Kyrie
I, he
plays.
could be in,
I'd
he could
argue
be in
him
that
over
Steph
Dame.
Jaw range.
Yeah, I'd
Yes.
argue him over Dame.
if he plays.
Kyrie's arguably the most talented player in the league.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
doubt.
I mean, the guy's
There's
insane.
just so
And
many
when he's
outside
on,
factors
when
with
he's
Kyrie.
on, there's no one more. There's
Yeah.
arguably no one more fun to
No.
watch.
Like,
when
but
he's
like
on.
you said, is he gonna play?
Is he gonna play?
Is
Right.
Earth flat? Like you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get from him. Like
No,
he's a
you
fucking.
really don't.
He's a wild card.
I still think you can't put Kyrie outside of 7.
One thing you said too that I think is interesting is Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, we saw in the bubble. Jamal Murray went fucking nuclear.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has. My thing is, it's like Clay. He's been out for 2 years because he's gonna take some time to get his feet back under him.
He's young though.
But he's
still.
young, and I think he's going to be great once he gets back into the
Yeah.
groove
Yeah.
of things. It might take him a little bit, but that guy is fucking ultra talented. Kind of reminds me of a young Dame.
Yeah.
In a
He's-
way,
we saw,
yeah,
we
yeah.
saw him,
Yeah.
we saw him
Like
making
him.
some
Yeah.
30, 35,
Oh, yeah.
40-foot
Well,
three-pointers
dude,
in
that bubble
series.
run. He
In the
dropped
bubble,
like
he
2
was
or
a
3
fucking
50-point
god,
games.
dude.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
my thing with Jamal Murray when I was making the list. I was like,
I just couldn't put him
like,
there yet
if-
because I don't
if
know.
I got a
what's gonna be like
swap.
from injury.
So like, let's say I swap like Drew Holiday was someone I really considered. If I swap Drew Holiday for Jamal Murray, does Drew Holiday help the Nuggets more?
Well,
I don't think. And I think if you
No.
put Jamal Murray on the Bucks
Bucks.
more, I think he helps them more than Jamal Murray
Yes, but
because of
Drew
the straight
Holiday-
offense.
yeah,
With
but
Drew
Drew
Holiday-
defense.
I
His
love-
defense.
yeah,
though.
His
and that's
defense
why
is
I
great,
takes
but
too
he
many
shoots
shots. He
11
takes-
of 29 a
he
game.
takes too
That's
many
the problem.
shots. He does take too
in
many
his last
shots.
series too, is because Middleton was out.
But
But
even
I-
in the
I love
finals
Drew.
last year, he shot awful.
Yeah, he's not a great shooter, but he's a great. I think he's a guy you can put on any team, and he's gonna really help that.
He's
team
literally
out.
an old
And that's
Marcus
why I
Smart.
like him.
That's how I look at him. He's
Yeah.
an older Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
I think
I think he's
a little.
better than
He's
Marcus.
better. He's better.
I mean, he shot 41% from three this year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just his defense matters so much, which is the only reason why. But I
Yeah.
mean, yes, Jamal Murray.
And
Like,
that's why I like.
I don't
DeAndre
think
Murray,
maybe
too.
per se Jamal helps the Bucks per se, but
I
other
think he
teams.
helps the Bucks because they're already so good at defense.
Oh, if Middleton's playing, yes. Then if
Yeah.
Middleton's playing, then yes, Jamal Murray. But yeah, I guess in that situation,
Just- yeah, tough
Drew,
situation.
I mean,
Drew had to
just
take more
Giannis
shots.
by himself though is going to
Yeah.
make you at least like average defensive team. You
Yeah.
could have the worst defenders around Giannis, and your defense is still going to be like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you add a bomber like Jamal Murray on that team, like I
that'd
think
be
that
huge.
helps them more than
Yeah.
Holiday. That's why I was like, I'm gonna put him at 10. Like I know I consider Garland too a lot, but like I just haven't seen enough of Garland. I've seen
Yeah.
what
Alright,
Jamal
can
Murray.
you say your top 10 just real quick one more time?
Jamal Murray 10, LaMelo Ball 9, Chris Paul 8, James Harden 7, Kyrie Irving 6, Damian Lillard 4, John Morant 3, Steph 2, Luka 1. Okay. Do we have any at the 1 spot? I think we all would say Luka.
I think
Yeah,
we'd
I
all
think-
say Luke,
yeah.
especially we're all Dallas boys.
You would say
so.
Ja over Steph though.
It was tough for him, but at this point I would. I mean, I know Ja. It's easy to get caught up in the hype with him. Fucking Jawbreaker and all this shit. ESPN just going nuts. But I think that dude is
Team
so
Morant.
fucking ultra talented, and he's gotten better at shooting year in year out. And
He has,
he's
yeah.
proven. I mean, the Grizzlies are talented. They're nothing special though. And the fact that he took them.
And they're 20 and
They're on
5
the way.
without
They're
him.
on their way.
When he
But
didn't play, they were.
They
better.
were, but he
They're
doesn't.
not obviously
He
better.
doesn't
but-
have his Robin. You can make the argument Jaren Jackson could be his Robin.
No.
No.
They have a ton of good pieces though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ton of good pieces, but
All your young
the
pieces.
roster's nothing crazy though. I love Ja, not over Luca, but
Yeah.
and that's the with that even too. I'd say maybe Ja
Yeah.
2A, Steph 2B type of thing.
Yeah.
don't know.
I was surprised. I thought y'all would argue me Trae Young at 5.
no.
Y'all think Trae Young?
No,
I had
as,
Trae Young-
as,
I had
as
Trae Young
bad
at
as
5.
he is at defense, which he
yeah,
is
okay.
horrible.
That
The
was my
dude-
reason.
the
I was
dude-
like,
But-
Trae Young
dude's a
does
fucking
so
the
much
dude's
on
the
offense.
whole offense is
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
He's a great
I thought
creator.
someone would fight me on Trae Young.
no,
yeah,
I like Trey.
He's a
Okay.
great creator. Like you
Like
said
you
it, and I was
looks
like,
a popsicle dropped in a trash can of pubes, but I like
Yeah.
him.
no, like you said he's 5, and I'm like, fuck, like is he a top 5 point guard? And then like you looked at the list, like he is.
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
He
Who
just
else
is.
you can- yeah.
I mean, a healthy Kyrie, you could bump over him, but
If you
Yes.
have a distracted,
Kyrie.
healthy
Yeah.
Playing
Kyrie,
Kyrie.
then yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Shit, Kyrie's could be 3.
and then y'all like Dame in that top 5 still for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like Dame's lost some credit though. Just
Well,
he's been out all year.
forgotten.
He wasn't going to play for a
Yeah.
Blazers team that was getting fucking waxed every game. I think
Yes.
Dame next year when he comes back out, he's going to be great.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
gonna be
still
great.
gonna
It's
be
just
great,
that team's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna see what he
Hey,
does.
I mean,
why,
I
like,
think,
hope-
but it's
hope-
still Dame.
if
Yeah.
Zach Collins is starting again, who
Oh,
knows where they
boy.
could go? I mean,
Yeah. Hey,
who knows?
Dame goes to South Beach though.
No, yeah,
I
that'd be-
would love to
If
see
you're-
Dame
if
That
you're
would
play-
be my favorite trade,
if
other
you're-
than him coming to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
If
That would be
you
my favorite trade
I
of the
would love to see
offseason.
him
is
do that.
Dame
imagine
to
you
the Heat.
replace
Oh my
Lowry
God.
with Dame, like good God.
Jesus.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.